The Gilboa Prison break was a security event in Israel which occurred on the 6th of September 2021, when 6 Palestinian prisoners escaped from Gilboa Prison, a maximum security prison in northern Israel, through a tunnel. Among the escapees was Zakaria Zubeidi, former leader of Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades in Jenin. The incident is considered to be the most significant prison break in Israel's history. By September 19, all 6 escapees had been recaptured. Gilboa Prison opened in 2004, and first it was called Sahita B as part of the Sahita prison system. Shortly after, it became a separate independent prison with high security level designed for security prisoners and Palestinian anti-apartheid fighters following the Second Intifada. In August 2014, a similar escape attempt was foiled when an underground tunnel that prisoners had been digging was discovered by Israeli security forces. Cell phone call barriers were installed in the prison, but they were activated at an inefficient level, contrary to regulations and following protests from the part of the prisoners. The prisoners escaped through an underground tunnel in the prison's drainage system from the bathroom of cell number 5 in the second branch of the prison. The tunnel was about 22 meters long and had been surreptitiously dug over an extended period prior to the escape. A probe of the escape led by Shin Bet concluded that the digging began as early as November 2020, and at least 11 prisoners helped dig the tunnel. The excavation was done with plates and panhandles, and dumped the excavated dirt in the prison's sewer system, garbage cans, and hollow shafts. A guard responsible for maintaining the sewer system had noticed blockages but did not report them to prison authorities. The prisoners hid the entry hole under a floorboard. A day before the escape, the most senior prisoner of the group, Zakaria Zubeidi, requested a transfer to the cell where the 5 other prisoners were located. The request was accepted with no suspicions raised. The escape occurred on the 6th of September 2021. In the middle of the night, after 1 a.m., the hole from which the prisoners emerged was directly beneath a watchtower which was unmanned due to a manpower shortage. A guard in a nearby watchtower was asleep at the time. She later claimed that she had got up after hearing noises but didn't see anything and went back to sleep. As the prisoners emerged from the tunnel, guard dogs in the prison yard started barking, activating a warning system which trained security cameras in the direction that the dogs were barking. However, the guard who was supposed to be monitoring the video feed was allegedly watching television instead. The prisoners left their prison uniforms outside the tunnel and changed clothes. Although it was initially suspected that some of them had been picked up by a waiting car, Israeli investigators later determined that they had no accomplices on the outside and had traveled on foot the entire time. The first report regarding a suspected escape reached the police at 1:49 a.m. from a citizen driving on Route 71 who called the police and reported that he saw figures running in the fields. Within minutes, a patrol car arrived at the scene and began scanning it. An employee at a gas station in the area later reported a man who looked strange passing through the area. At 2:14 a.m., the deputy commander of the Beit Shean police station informed the prison control center about the reports of suspicious figures in the prison's vicinity that had come in. At around 3 a.m., farmers from the localities near the prison reported suspicious figures observed in the agricultural areas of the localities. At Gilboa Prison, prison staff carried out a head count of the inmates. At 3:29 a.m., the staff reported that 3 inmates were missing. This was upgraded to 6 at 4 a.m. Based on interrogations of recaptured prisoners, Shin Bet determined that after escaping, the 6 men walked about 7 kilometers to the Israeli Arab town of Nayura, where they asked a few local residents to drive them to Jenin and were refused. They then spent less than an hour in the local mosque where they showered and changed clothes before leaving town. After hearing that a significant number of security forces were deployed along the border with the West Bank, they decided to split into 3 pairs and go into hiding in northern Israel. Surveillance footage captured a Sony one thought to be one of the suspects crossing into the West Bank near the village of Jalama through a gap in the West Bank barrier. Except Zubaydi, the escaped prisoners were the Islamic Jihad members serving life sentences after being convicted of planning or carrying out attacks that killed Israelis, while the youngest prisoner had been held without charge for 2 years in administrative detention. After learning of the escape, the Israel police, including units of the Israel Border Police, began searching for the escaped prisoners in cooperation with